All right. What are we gonna do? So, the club race last night was pretty much 6 trucks, 3 cars. And that's not fun for cars. if if you've ever been club racing, you know you don't want to be out there with that many trucks. Makes the track real small. And I mean, I don't want to. I'm not that good of a driver to be hugging corners. I need to use more brake and stuff. So I'm working on. I mean, gone 4 times. But man, running against all them trucks was not fun at all. But I didn't do too bad. I was the fastest car, I think. Which there's this guy Clark that goes, and he beat me last week, and it was nice to beat him this week. Beat him. I mean, it wasn't like a huge beating or anything. I think I beat him. I don't know. I'd have to go look at it. But I didn't like racing against all them trucks though. So next week I'm definitely gonna move up, even though I'll probably be slower than who I'm racing with. I think it'll be better for me. I mean, I stay out of people's way pretty much, unless they make me mad, and then I rear end them, which you probably saw in that video of the races last night. But it is what it is. I was not. At the end of the night, man, it's about having fun. And when you have to go through all that crap just to get your butt around the course, it's not very fun. And I mean, if you got that many trucks, man, you should just do a truck novice and a car novice. I mean, there were only 3 of us, but geez, that's better than throwing us out there getting ran over by trucks. I was literally run over most of the time. And that's not fun. It is not fun to get your butt run over that much in a race. In practice too. There's a lot of trucks out there at practice. But when they get that many trucks out there, they do a what is it, a time practice or whatever, or they make it so only a certain amount of people or trucks are out there and cars are out there only, so us cars don't get freaking ran over, thankfully. But I don't know, I did all right. I drove the best in the first qualifier. Well, that's not true. I drove really well in the final, but my car in the final, my ESC, as you can see right now, is flopping all over. But when it was on, I was driving real well. I think I was in 3rd at one point or something like that, but I passed one of the trucks up. But when about halfway through. I don't even think it was halfway through. It was real early. I gotta watch it. Oh, I didn't videotape it, but somehow my electronic speed control started flopping all over the place. It came loose, and the sensor wire came out of the motor, and your power just goes to nothing. Like your car, like if at that track, if you go into that double, at the bottom of that double, you can punch it and you'll fly over that double, which I'm working on not flying that far over the double, but you will fly. I mean, right before the triple, I'll gun it and I'll easily make it the first two and go over the third, right? So you lose all that power and you gun it, it doesn't go anywhere. Like you can't even make a double when your sensor wire comes out. Nothing happens. And that's what happened to me. So I started, nose diving into the second hill because I was used to driving a certain way and I won't drive that way. So I was like, man. So I asked about it. People were like, use this kind of tape, use that kind of tape, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to use some new tape. I'm going to heat it up though when I put it down and get this stuff. So hopefully it won't come loose again, man, because I'm telling you. I mean, I don't even know which way to have it because I don't know if these wires are pushing it or if I should have it way over here. I do not know. But we're going to see. So I got this Protect RC tape. I'm going to try this stuff out. See if it works better. I was told to put it on and then, boy, that is sticky as all hell. And then heat gun it and adhere it to the car. I've already cleaned both. I mean, I cleaned the back or the speed control and the chassis, so that's my dog. Don't worry about it. She's actually pretty tame, little animal. I think we'll pop it down up in the front there. Like that. I think we'll do it. I think so. I think. So let's do. Get my heat gun out. Ba boom, boom, boom. What in the hell? Man, that is sticky. But what on earth? Hold on a second. I gotta concentrate. Ooh-wee. Yeah. Hopefully this sticks. Ah, no. I put a little too far over. Actually, I could put this back over here. No. Shoot. Holy crap. Michael, that's actually where I want it though. Now I just need to find a way to put this bad boy. Oh, it's not gonna fit. Well, I'm gonna have to take that up and move it over just a bit. Well, that'll teach me. Hi, bae. Let me put this in first. Man. So anyways, it was pretty terrible most of the time running against all them cars. Or all those trucks. But the car, when it was, when everything was going good, car's fun. It's fast. But like I said, I need to use more brake. I mean, I really don't use enough brake at all. And instead of just using brake, I just get off the gas or off the throttle when entering a turn. Son of a bitch. And people come up on my butt because I'm off the throttle long before the turn and they're staying on the gas long into the turn and using their brake. But it's baby steps, I guess. But good Lord. Good Lord. Come on now. pissing me the F off, man. Come on. There's my dog acting like an idiot because the vacuum's on. Man, this is pissing me. This tape is like effing crazy. I cuss a lot normally, so I'm trying not to cuss right now. My dog's acting like she's crazy. She hates the vacuum though. Oh man, you can't use a vacuum and you can't sweep here at my house, which leads to a lot of animal hair building up all over the place because she's freaking crazy. This is driving me nuts. I don't have any nails, man. I normally do. There we go. Sheesh. Let's get this a little warm. Woo! So I did this wire like RC Vitals did on his, and he saw it from somewhere where you just wrap it up and pop it in there. Works just fine. Alright. Now, back to this mess. Now that I know how much room I got. I might back it up some. Make it a little easier for this to get into there. And that'll work. We'll see how this goes. So I looked at the times that the B main guys had, and all that would have happened, I would have finished last in the B main. I think I would have rather finished last in the B main than fourth in novice behind 3 trucks. Maybe I would even do better lap times also because I wouldn't be racing against trucks. I'd be racing against buggies, which is really, I mean, track gets wider for me that way, being how I need a wide track. I mean, and I know how to stay out of people's way. I mean, that's all I really got to do, just stay out of people's way. It's not hard. You go wide, and they take better lines anyways. But it's just get on there, baby. There we go. She fits. With a wider track, I'm better off, and I would probably pull better lap times and things like that because I'm just not that good yet. Oh, where to put you, where to put you. Suppose I can go over this way. There she blows. That looks like it looks alright. Yeah, that looks fine. That looks fine. Oh, I didn't re-clean the... It's alright. Come on now. Maybe I'll line that up at some point. This is on a Velcro, so I can take it from car to car. It doesn't go anywhere. I did that nifty little thingamaroo. Thingamabut. I did have a piece of tape up here. Maybe I will tape that just to keep it up there so it doesn't move anywhere. Try and hold this wire in place. My goodness. They need to make this a little bit harder to get off. What the? Come on. Oh my goodness. This kind of stuff makes me want to rage. Just fucking effing rage, man. It's like, come on. Really? You have to make it... They need to come up with a better way to do their... God. It's ridiculous. God. Makes me want to kill somebody. Bad temper. Bad temper. But, in the end, sensor wire's where I want it to be, so I guess I can't complain too bad. Alright, so we're cleaned up. I forgot to take the protective thing out there. It looks terrible, but it's really not in that bad a shape. That protective film that's on it for if you're going to paint it, I forgot to take it off the wing. So now it's all freaking, it looks completely terrible. I don't know if you can see it, but it's not that bad. Front wing was all beat up too, but it's not in that bad a shape either. Ugh. Forgot to take the protective tape off of that one either. Or that one too. All right. We'll see if that stays on next practice. Hopefully it does, man. That shit's it's so annoying to be racing around there one way and halfway through the race you got to change the way you drive because your motor's not getting any more oomph. What? There's got to be better thumb screws than these ones. These ones suck. Or maybe a better battery strap, I don't know. Should probably pick one up. But everything else in the car, peachy keen. Working good. The J Concepts, I gotta clean those tires here later. But they're working pretty well. They're working better than my Ross Speed ones were. Although the four-wheel drive Ross Speed tires that I bought did pretty well until the race started. So I use those because this car, I've had such terrible luck with this B64. Terrible luck with this car. It started when I first built it. I used Velcro a lot on this car, but when I first built this car, the I took it out into the driveway to set the trim. Just yeah, I remember you, man. How you doing? I took it out to the front yard or front driveway and to set the trim and everything. It was flying all over the place, and it sounded like a gear went on it, like it was like and was making noise, like squeaking and all this stuff. And I'm doing all right, just cleaning up the cars. I gotta fix the servo horn on this B64 and try to make it actually stay in. That's what I'm working on at the moment. I gotta take the front end off because one of the screws in the inside or on the bottom is Loctited in, man. I can't get it out. No matter how hard I try, it will not budge. It's in the bottom so tight. But hey, it's supposed to be. I mean, I don't use like super duper Loctite, just a regular Loctite from the AutoZone down the street. I mean, it's nothing spectacular. But man, I cannot get the screw out of the bottom, which would make it a lot easier. Thanks, man. I try to keep positive attitude. Try to keep everything light. So anyways, back to my story on this B64. When I first got it, I took it out into the front and I was cruising around, and then it sounded like a gear went in it. Like one of my diffs started messing up or something like that. And I'm like, oh man, what did I do? I mean, I hadn't even taken it off road yet or anything. And so I went back in to the house, messed with, I took the middle diff apart, made sure all the fluid and stuff were how they were supposed to be. That didn't do it. Took the rear diff apart. That didn't do it. Took the front diff apart. It's still making this noise and it won't go. And this was my first sensored motor. I didn't know it could mess with the car the way that it did. What it ended up being, I took the middle diff apart again, so I did each diff. I did the rear diff and the middle diff twice. I did the front diff once. And it ended up being just a loose sensor wire. And that's been the start of my troubles with this car. Since that point, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go crazy. But it is what it is, man. I've literally taken this car, the B64, around the track 6 laps. The first time this front ball cup in the kit came with a crack in it, and I didn't replace it then. But then I went to the track and it just wouldn't stay on, and it was 2 laps, and I did 4 laps before the servo horn came off. And you can't, there's no easy way to get at that servo horn. So I'm taking the front off, and I'm gonna mess with the bulkheads here for my arm positioning. Oh, what's it say? Oof. All right. Oof. Yeah, that sounds terrible. Although I could probably be doing this with my drill. And start them with my hand. Servo horn stuff. Ah! My God, you can't all see that. Sheesh. Wow, those wires need to be fixed. Drill bit, drill bit, drill bit. Where are you, drill bit? Oh, there you are. Yeah, this B64 has been just bad luck. It flies, though, when I get it going. Couldn't believe how fast it was on that track, except for it only made it around the track 4 times. And then I went to my pits and cried, because I'm a big baby. And, I mean, this was my first build in freaking forever. And I don't know. I have to revisit these bulkheads because the inserts I'm pretty sure I messed up the inserts the first time. That's one of the things that I like about RC cars is building and taking them apart. But I understand completely if it's such a pain in the butt to do. There's no real reason to keep doing it. Like this car, I've taken this front off. This will be, because I've already had this servo problem once before. So it'd be my 4th time taking this all apart. The front end. A street car? Dude, I don't know much about street cars anymore. When I first started racing RC cars, and I was maybe 14 or 15 when I did that, or maybe less. Criminy, now that I think about it, it was late 80s. I started with on-road cars and raced on-road cars back in Port Huron, Michigan, and loved it, and it was fun, and that's the first thing I won a trophy in, was that, finishing first in that whole thing, and that was a blast, and that's what got me hooked on freaking, you know, driving these cars. It's the competition part of it. Like I told my wife yesterday, I'm a much better driver when I'm racing than I am when I'm practicing, because you concentrate more. There's more meaning to it. But for on-road car, I mean, the associated cars are cheaper. So yeah, that's why I always bought kits. I build it and I tear it apart. Like you said, you know it better when you do it that way. But this here, man, holy crap, look how dirty this is. I don't have an air compressor yet. Wife said I could get one though, so that's good. Right now I'm just making the floor filthy, so I gotta clean that up later. Should I take this off of here or just finagle my way on to putting this on here? But the associated cars are cheaper, and this kit, the B6.1 kit, went together flawlessly. Everything fit perfect. Wasn't missing a screw. Wasn't missing anything. And it's cheaper than most. I was looking at X-rays, and they're just more expensive, man. And I'm like, oh, it's the same. I mean, all these cars are pretty much the same, So then you're looking at price and all that kind of stuff. So, but this, the 64 went together okay. There were some real tight spots at times. It was just, it was a club racer, so it came with the electronics, and I blew up the speed control. I didn't cut the wires on the Reedy speed control, and I put the wires in the wrong one and blew it up. So I had to go buy a new speed control, which made buying the club racer kind of pointless. If you get everything with the club racer and all that kind of stuff. So the thing is, man, this is super freaking tight. I mean, look at that. I don't know if you can see it, but I can't even get that servo, the horn, to go onto to the head of that thing, man, at all. I gotta find parts box. That's there's the track that I race at out here in Arizona at Hobby Action. They're a big TLR racetrack. And so there's a ton of TLR cars, and you know, there's a lot of every car really, but there's more TLR than Associated out there, which is kind of neat to see. Because before, man, when I was younger, and even now, I mean, I'm an Associated guy. I like Associated cars. So when I was getting back into it, I was like, I'm just gonna get Associated, because I thought, I remember being a kid pining for a freaking RC10. I remember asking my dad for an RC10, and so he goes down to the hobby shop, and the guy talked him into a really crappy Japanese four-wheel drive piece of crap, and I hated that car. But that was my first foray into off-road, was a four-wheel drive Nishimo freaking piece of crap. Oh my gosh, I hated that car. Still do to this day. When I think, man, if that guy wasn't such a dick and wasn't trying to sell just get rid of that product, I would have ended up with an RC10 back when the RC10 was like, when you looked at an RC magazine back in the 80s, when you looked at, get that thing tight with some Loctite. There we go. That bad boy shouldn't be coming off there. Back then, man, you had RC magazines. You didn't go to websites. You didn't watch anybody on YouTube. You went and you got an RC magazine, and that's how you saw who was driving what and all that kind of stuff. That was a big deal. Was when the RC magazine hit the stand, man, I'd go get one. And I remember when electronic speed controls came out. All that stuff, man. That stuff was super freaking... Get under there, big boy. No, man, don't come out. There we go. Come on now. Oh, Michael, you're making a mess. Team Durango does trucks. Being as I just got back into it, I don't know much of the trucks, but there's a local company out here that started making RTR trucks, and they're called Red Cat, and those look pretty nice. If I was looking into, man, I just got this back together. What am I doing? If I was looking into an RTR, I'd probably get a Red Cat truck, because they look pretty good. I mean, you see the Traxxas ones all the time at the track, man. They like litter the track. I mean, that's, if you watched my video last night of my races, it was what on earth? Why is this being such a pain in the butt? There you go. It was 6 trucks, man. There's trucks everywhere. It's such a pain for cars to have to deal with trucks. And, but that's just the way it is. Especially when you're a novice and you're just learning, you're trying to get just around the track. It's just one of them things where you just gotta put up with the trucks. But I don't know. It's, to me, I wish they had, when they got like 10 or 11 cars or novice people, I wish they would just let us do 2 different groups. But I can see why they don't. I mean, that's another 20 minutes and we end up staying there till like 10 racing on Wednesday nights. There's a, oh man, come on now. That's that long? Let's get this but when you're a little car getting ran over by trucks, man, it does nothing but make you mad. Yeah, a lot of Traxxas trucks though out there, man. A lot of them. It's scary. It's like, what on earth? But they're cheap, so kids can get into this great hobby and get out there and, you know, race. That's the important thing, man. As long as these kids get to come out here and get a taste of this hobby and get better at it and better at it. Now, if they're going out there on the racetrack and just wanting to run into each other like there were a couple last night, I just don't get that. And it just makes the other guys mad when they're, you know, out there practicing and the kids are just bashing into one another. It's like, oh, and they start getting angry, and the kids don't call out when they crash, especially in the triple, and you got these guys out here with, you know, $1,000 cars. After all said and done, man, you've spent a lot of money on these cars, and they run into them at full speed, man. Those guys tend to get pretty angry, and rightly so. You gotta, if you crash, man, you gotta yell it out. You gotta be like, caution in the triple, so people will slow down so they don't mash into everything. There was a guy last night. He went onto the track before the race was over. Like, I think it was like 8 out of the 9 drivers had finished, and he was, you know, after the race, we're supposed to go on there and blow out the track and do your part, but he didn't listen. He's like, I still got one left. And the guy went onto the track, and he was at the start-finish line, so that one guy ended up coming through and just hitting him in the foot, and it broke the guy's A-arm. I would have been so pissed off, but that guy just took it for what it was. I mean, I guess it happens. I don't see how. I mean, it is what it is, I guess. Let's try these bulkheads here. Let's go. I'm going to make them low and outside. Oh. Let's see. That's not what I want. No. Stay here, my man. Dog hair. Yuck. No, I do not want those inserts. All these little adjustments you can do on these cars is just crazy to me. Crazy. Low and outside. Those will work. Brr. Come on now. That's like my phrase. Come on now. This is just a mess right now. This is probably the messiest I've ever pulled this car apart. But this is what it is. That bad boy in there. When I was building this, had no clue what that insert was for. Had absolutely no clue. And didn't make sure that they were put in there the right way. Now the back ones, since I had changed the arm, I changed the arms on the back ones to the Shell Racing short arms. Oh crap! So that has the proper inserts. This here. Now we'll have the right inserts. Thank goodness. So somebody on Instagram say to lube those up, but I'm not one of those guys. I'm so glad I got back into this. I start coaching football again here pretty quick though, which will cut into me racing. But I don't know, there's no, I mean, football coaching is a blast. Two great hobbies that I get to do. Oh yeah. Is that gonna work? That looks like it's gonna work. What on earth, Michael? Why are these looking the wrong way? Oh, it's just the way they go. Pop these bad boys back in. I don't know if everybody has to do this much maintenance on their cars after every... Well, this one's my fault because I didn't have that Loctited in or screwed in probably far enough. Cool beans. Cool beans. These ones have always been the worst for me. I have to start making some friends at this track. Welcome back. I've only met a couple people. I need to meet more people. Makes it more fun. Far more fun the more people you know. Get up in there, baby. There we go. I probably should have picked a different car to be my first car back. Building this B64 was kind of a arduous task, being as how I hadn't built a car forever. I love how fast they are though. These four-wheel drives, oh my gosh, they fly around the track. Now if I could just keep it together for a whole practice session, hopefully this Sunday, I'll have it all dialed in and ready to go and give it a shot. Maybe I'll race it in the novice division, because it's different driving. I mean, I'm not that good at the two-wheel drive, let alone be able to get in and do this four-wheel drive. Because if you watch, I mean, I think there were at least in the teens in four-wheel drive stock class sportsmen last night, and man, they fly around that track. You know, I don't want to get in anybody's way. If I can't drive close to it, then I don't want to be out there ruining their night. That's the way I look at it. All right. That's under. I gotta fix this so it's over. So much wires in this one. Bumper. But no nitro buggy. Never raced nitro. I don't know. I mean, it looks cool, but it's never been one of those. Like, I never had. I remember there's a big race that came through when I was a little kid, and there was 8 scale on-road nitro cars. I remember just watching it and being in awe of these cars going around the track. Is just amazing. Oh, Truggy? Yeah, nitro Truggy would be. I want to get the new T6 when it comes out. I watched the Stadium Trucks hobby action, and man, they look fun. They look a little bit easier to drive than like a four wheel, but my 4-wheel drive. But I don't know. I'd have to try it and get my hands on it. If I got one, I would just take the electronics from this 4-wheel drive and put it into the Stadium one. Oh, that's delicious. I like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's gonna be something. Oh crap! I forgot to put the dough. See? Look at how many of these stupid times I gotta take this front end apart. You get all excited and I always forget to put something on there. So I took a bigger tool box to the track last night, and I'm thankful I did. I put my I got this $19 soldering kit from Amazon. Came in this little pouch. Put it in my toolbox, and first practice session of the night, or of the day yesterday, because it got there around 3:30 to practice for the night. The first 15 minutes, one of the solders came loose from my engine, and I was like, "Oh no!" But I was able to solder it back on there pretty quick and get back out there and practice some more. I couldn't believe it happened. I was just like, "What? Like, what is my luck here, man?" But it wasn't a good solder job. It needed to be redone again, so it just happened in the worst time. But there were so many loose wheel nuts last night at the races too. It's like 4 or 5 loose wheel nuts. People be out there warming up for their race, and wheels go flying. You're just like, what the hell? That's one of the easiest things for me to remember. But last night I didn't. I forgot. Well, my wife had made me a new tire washer, one that's sealed so the water doesn't come out of it. My first one, which was over there, I think she took it. The water would, I mean, you'd carry it from the thing, and the water, you'd have to balance it and all that crap. I don't go balance stuff. I gotta get my ass back to my seat. But I had forgotten it because she had made it for me, which, because she's an awesome wife, and left it on the front or in the kitchen counter. So I didn't have it. So I just used Lysol wipes, antibacterial, and that's what I used to clean my tires after every race, and it worked great. I used the wipes, got all the mud off, or clay off, used a towel, got it clean. Worked great, peachy keen. That's for the... This is another thing that's pissing me off on this car. I just had bad luck with this car. The this battery strap will not stay on here. I don't know what I did wrong. I thought it snapped down on it before, but now it doesn't snap anything. It just makes me want to hurl it across the room. I don't know. It is what it is, but man, maybe I gotta get a new battery strap for it. It's such a pain in the butt. Well, I didn't flip it at all. So there shouldn't be any dirt in there. There's some dirt on the back. Ugh. Yuck. Gotta get this out of here. So see, I used Velcro on this one, so we're gonna change that to tape. So I don't want this crap. The camera's frozen. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can unfreeze it.